and the rockets crackling, the bombs bursting in air.
Well, that's the scene at Fort McHenry this week as children gathered to put together their own human flag as America celebrates a very special birthday. We put the spotlight on our special national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. It was 200 years ago that Francis Scott Key penned the poem that would later go on to define the nation's resilience and become part of our national culture of pride and patriotism, even in the most challenging of times. Historian Marc Ferris is an expert on all things Star-Spangled, and he is also the author of Star-Spangled Banner, The Unlikely Story of America's National Anthem. He joins us now. Welcome. Great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks
Lots of festivities tied to this special birthday. And I know that a lot of Americans, although this is a beloved anthem and people are used to singing it at very special events, they don't know perhaps some of the interesting historical facts that surround the anthem itself and how it was put together. Most people know, I think, Francis Scott Key penned the poem at Fort McHenry. Tell us more about that.
Yes, that's a great story. I set out to tell the rest of the story. And actually, he did consciously write the words to fit that song. That's a big myth that a lot of people have, that somehow somebody else joined the song and the words. Because Francis Scott Key was very self-effacing. He did not promote his song or his creation at all. And he didn't even promote his association with it. So someone else, an actor called Ferdinand Durang, came in and said, I'm the one who did that.
So why was it he was just a humble person who didn't want people to really know much about this? It was just something personal to him?
This is true. He was a gentleman, and it was seemed as unseemly if he promoted it himself. But it did take off, and it was instantaneously the national anthem.
How soon after did it take off? How soon after?
Instantaneously.
Yeah.
They printed up broadsides and gave them out to the soldiers at Fort McHenry, and it spread, as documented in the book, by the printing press very quickly, and also on stage in theaters.
There are a lot of interesting little facts that you put in this book, one of those being at the first time this was actually sung at a major event in our history. Talk to us about that for a moment.
The baseball. That's one thing that a lot of people are definitely going to get wrong. You'll see a myth perpetuated that the 1918 World Series is the first time it ever played at a baseball game. That is decidedly untrue. It's actually 1862. And baseball historians knew that, but I found the documentation in the Brooklyn Daily Eagle that showed that that was the first time we know of. It could have been before, because remember, he wrote it in 1814, so you never know.
What are some of the things that you write in your book that people will be really surprised about?
Shakespeare used the phrase star and spangled together in two different plays. By spangled starlight sheen in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and what stars do spangle heaven with such beauty in The Taming of the Shrew? That's definitely shocking. You're carrying around a phrase of the Star-Spangled Banner in your pocket or purse if you have money. The term "In God We Trust" is printed on all coins and all bills. Coins since the Civil War, bills since 1957, and that is a paraphrase of a line in the fourth verse. There are 4 verses.
Wow, I know there are 4 verses that people don't know about. Most people just sing the first verse and think that's all there is to it.
And it ends in a question mark. It ends in a question, and it's not resolved until you sing the rest of the verses. It's
really quickly,
strange.
why do you think this has become such an ingrained part of our fabric, of our culture, and people have turned to the national anthem in the most challenging of times as well, in terms not just celebrating our pride and patriotism, but it's been a source of comfort for many people?
It is a great song. I love it. It captured a moment. It was written behind enemy lines. It was like lightning written across the sky, and I think it's a very edgy melody, and it's got historical gravitas behind it as well.
Well, it's one that we all love, and we're so happy that you put this book out, and we can learn so much from you. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.